Maxx, an incredibly divisive card. A card that so many people have so many opinions on. And honestly, today I'm going to take the argument as to why this card is fair and balanced. And you'll see through the replays why it is. So I'm going to show you how this card is totally okay in the current metagame, and why you should agree with me. Alright, so here we are going first with Grass Dragon Link, or kind of Grass Chaos. So we're going to start off with that grass looks greener. My opponent will call or activate the Maxx. We're going to go and activate the Router and a few other cards. No other cards, sorry. We're going to go for the Xiaomin here, add the second Foxy Tune, activate the Foxy Tune, and pitch a card in order to go into Deer Note. Deer Note can then allow us to go into Chaos Ruler, and Deer Note is then going to special summon back, and then we are going to reveal a whole bunch of cards. Hey, Dragonhawk is pretty good. So I'm going to add, of course, the Dragonhawk to the hand. We're going to mill the rest of the cards, and out comes Zombie Vampire. Zombie Vampire is going to activate, and this will give us an idea as to what my opponent is playing. Seeing the Flunder cards, hey, I'm not too worried about hand traps now, but more specifically, I actually want them to draw cards here, right? Because at this point, just ending the turn is like a death sentence, but also, if they can't search out any cards, they don't do anything. So that's kind of the idea here. We're going to activate the Water Enchantress. They will Gamma that. Okay, sure. We're going to activate the Thunder Dragon Hawk in order to grab up the Roar, and then banish to special summon back our Chaos Ruler. We're then going to contact you. I don't know. Tribute for Colossus. I hate this card, by the way. We're going to go into IP Masquerena and activate the Chaos Space. Chaos Space is then going to put back the... Just kidding, we're not going to do that because they don't want to draw a card. They don't want us to draw a card. I'm going to pass the turn here because I can't really do much more. Now, I mean, technically, yes, I could do more, but Colossus is on the field, so I'm feeling pretty good. My opponent is then going to imperm the IP Masquerena, to the which I will just... deal with it. They're going to chain the second Maxi, and I'm just going to go into Triple Burst Dragon. I don't really have a good option here. Like, I could go for Unicorn, but that doesn't really do anything. So I'm just going to go for the Triple Burst here. And then my opponent is going to activate the map, and then they're going to normal summon Ravina, and then they're going to normal summon the Stree, banishing the Stree. However, they are going to be negated due to the fact that they targeted a card in the graveyard. Heaven forbid you do that, and I have a Shuffler in the grave. So we're going to shuffle those away, and the turn now ends. They set 5 and pass. Fantastic! So at this point, they literally do not have access to any of their plays because they can't search anything due to Colossus. Hip hip hooray! So they're going to go and bring out the Eaglin, then they're going to activate one of the dumbest cards I've ever seen in my entire life, and the band played on. Dear Lanta, people really don't like Splight. Anyway, so we're just going to continue with our combo. They're going to call by random card for no reason, apparently. But okay, we draw into the Fateful Adventure, which is funny. And we're going to pitch the other Shuffler. We're going to go into the Xiaomin to grab up the Foxy Tune. And then at this point, my opponent realizes, oh crap, I literally can't do anything. Mind you, this guy's name was Shaco. He had the Upstart Goblin icon and the Pot of Greed mate. He deserved everything that he got. Now, as you can see, Maxx is totally fine. Obviously there, I had the ability to play through whatever they ended up doing, right? Now, granted, had they had a single imperm that was placed more correctly, instead of hitting the IP Masquerena, instead of hitting the Colossus, I would have immediately lost that game. So, Maxx is still fine. Just trust me on that one. Anyway, we're going to normal summon a Rocket Synchron. They're going to chain the Maxx. I'm going to chain my Quick Launch in order to grab up the Rocket Tracer. We're then going to go for the Keldo here in order to pitch the Kelbeck. Kelbeck will then mill some cards, and I realize that they are on Runic Sprite. Okay, fantastic. No hand traps. Let's see what kind of board I can make. Or, more specifically, can I deck them out? That is the plan. The plan now is to force them to draw or mill 28 more cards, 27 more cards. So we're going to go into the Chaos Ruler. We're going to go and grab up the Dragon Roar. We're going to activate the Dragon Roar to grab up the Thunder Dragon Hawk so that we can go for the Dragon Hawk here. We're then going to special summon out the Roar and then tribute it off for the Colossus. We're then going to link off our monster into the Striker Dragon, 24 cards, and we are going to go for the Boot Sector Launch. We're then going to go for the Striker Dragon in order to bring back our Rocket Tracer to the hand. We're then going to activate our Field Spell to bring out the 2 monsters. Then we will summon it into the Zombie Vampire to mill a few more cards. So we're going to mill some cards, and now they're down to 18. We're going to bring out the Foxy Tune because it's funny, and then go into the Dark into Dark the Gloomy Charm. We're going to bring back the Sprite Blue, 15 cards, and we are going to activate our Shuffler in order to shuffle 3 cards back, most notably the Dragon Ravine that was in the grave. So we are then going to Tribute in order to pitch the Agito from our hand with the Foxy Tune in order to special summon the Xiaomin. We're then going to mill some more cards down to 9 cards. We're going to grab up the Foxy Tune, activate the Foxy Tune, tribute off our monster in order to get an additional special summon. We're then going to activate the Snow in order to get another monster onto our field. And guess what? Snow is not a once per turn in any regard. Why would it be? Now, I accidentally don't use the Snow here. That's a mistake on my part. But yeah, we go for the triple burst here, and then I link off another monster for the Pisty. Realistically, I couldn't really use the Snow because it would mean that something in one of these zones would be clogged. But yeah, we go for the Pisty here. We bring back the Rocket Tracer. We're going to go and pop a card with the Rocket Tracer, and then we are going to synchro off into Borreload Savage, because it's funny. And then we're going to link off one more time into the Striker Dragon. They are on 1 card. That's right, 1 card. We go for the Borreland, and we pass the turn. And they can't draw a card. Just dig them out. Just dig them out. Alright, so here we are going first with Tri-brigade Lyralisk, aka Bird Up. And we drew 2 Maxis, it's fine. Trust. So we're going to activate our Fractal here, and my opponent will activate their Maxi. Okay, let's see how this goes. I'm going to dump the Nerval because we already have the kit, and I only play the 1 kit. I'm going to grab Karos. I'm going to normal summon Kit now, and we're going to banish 2 in order to go for the Fetigy. Fetigy will then special summon out the Cobalt Sparrow, which they will Ash, and I'm like, sure, that's fine. Anyway, we're going to go for Samoric here, and then we will activate our Ferrigite in order to draw the Barrel Canary, which is funny, and we're going to put back the Karos. We're going to then special summon out the Apex Avian. Now my opponent's turn. So my opponent is going to, well, first of all, I'm going to activate Maxi, because of course, and it's going to resolve. Now, granted, my opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 7 cards in hand and has used 2, meaning they have had 9 cards that they have seen going second. Normally, you see 6, which is 3 less, which, when every card does an insane amount and can just auto-win you the game, yeah, it's a bit absurd. But anyway, they're playing Sword Soul. They see they're going to activate the Ashana, and then they're going to activate the Imperm, not realizing that they cannot target my monsters, other than Kit, which doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm going to draw a card. They're going to go for Monk at the Tenyi. I'm going to draw another card. Hey, that's a really good one. They're going to go for the Ashana here, and I'm like, yeah, that's totally fine. Out comes Vashada. Yeah, that's totally fine. Out comes the Vashada effect. Yeah, that's totally fine. By the way, I drew Nibiru. They're going to bounce back the Kit. Fantastic. And then tribute summon their own Nibiru. I'm sorry. Yeah, walk into the Apex Avian. Sure, pass. Activate the long one. Okay, now things are getting interesting. Let me activate my own Nibiru that I just happened to draw into. Oh, look at that, another cockroach. Fantastic. Well, I'm going to tribute off their entire field. They're going to draw 2 cards, set 1, and pass. Let's see what we can do here. Now, granted, I have now started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. Oh, just like my opponent. Great, fantastic. Anyway, main phase 1. We are going to activate the Tenki because I didn't have enough cards in my hand. We're going to activate the Fractal, dump out the Nerval, and Nerval will then search the Karos, because remember, we put that back. Anyway, we're going to activate the Bird Call in order to grab up Celeste Wagtail, and then special summon out the Cobalt Sparrow. Cobalt Sparrow will search out the DD Crow, because it's funny. We're then going to special summon out the Nerval here with the Sapphire Swallow, banish a whole bunch, and that will be promptly negated. Of course, they have the Infit. Why would they not? Moving on, we are going to then go for the Recital Starling here. Activate the Recital Starling, boost up our monster, activate the effect in order to grab up the Turquoise Warbler, and then go for the Karos, dumping the Kit, and special summoning the Karos. Karos will then banish 2 in order to go for the DDL. We're going to banish the, we're going to spin back the Nib. They will activate their own Nibiru. Fantastic. Anyway, everything goes away, and we get a big token. Just kidding, it's not that big of a token. Why? I genuinely don't know. But, okay, sure. We're gonna go and then go for the second Recital Starling after normal summoning a, I believe, Turquoise Warbler after bringing back with the Recital Starling. Anyway, doesn't really matter. We're gonna boost up our Primal Being token because it's funny. Grab up the second Sapphire Swallow and then go into Utopic Future, into Utopic Draco Future to just punch over our opponent. Cool. So I'm going to punch them in the face. Now, granted, remember that both of us have been Nibiru'd once, and both of us have dropped multiple Maxx Cs. Both of us. Crazy, I know. Anyway, out comes Vashetta. Sure, that's fine. Monk of the Tenyi into a DD Crow on the Vashetta so that they do not get to bounce my monster. They're then going to normal summon the Ecclesia, activate the Taya, banish a monster, and then I will promptly negate the Taya, which they will then chain their Ecclesia. Great, their Ecclesia is now going to grab a Moye, which doesn't have a target. Great, that was a phenomenal game, all due to Maxx C, right? Wrong. This card is a disgrace. Now, I'm sure all of you already know this, but honestly, those games were not decided by Maxx C or anything like that. They were just hindered in terms of gameplay. You couldn't really play the game because Maxx C was dropped, right? My opponent had Nibiru, and then also got promptly Nibiru'd by me, and then also Nibiru'd again, and it was, you know, a really fun time, right? It was great because of Maxx C. But also, in those other games, one I decked out my opponent, and the other one, my opponent didn't have an out to Colossus. That's more so Colossus, right? No, Maxx C is also an inherent problem, just in general, right? Because drawing in a million cards means that you are almost guaranteed to draw the out to whatever your opponent has, right? You can play the out, like for example, Forbidden Droplets, Harpy's Feather Duster, which we'll talk about that one, Nibiru. Just all in all, great cards. Now, I've made this argument. Everyone's made this argument. We know Maxx C. This is just a joke, right? This whole episode is just a joke to show you why Maxx C is fair and balanced in theory, but in practice, it's not in the slightest. This is a horribly unbalanced card, and it doesn't belong in best of ones. Now, is Konami gonna do anything about it? No, because for some reason they also gave us Harpy's Feather Duster back to 1. Why would they do this? Just ban it. Just put it to 0. It's a Saki card. No one likes it. Maxx C, at least we can deck build around it, right? At least we can plan to get Maxx C'd, right? That's why we're playing the triple Ash Blossom and the double Called By. It's just standard deck building process, right? You start your deck with 8 cards in hand. The Cockroach, Ash Blossom, and Called By. Cockroach, and the outs. Yay! Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did enjoy. If you did, a like is very much appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. And we thank you guys so much for watching. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.